recording out Studio 4, man. So I have a connection. TC, the founder, you know, he's my uncle through marriage.
Okay.
So at the time when I was running around doing all this stuff, you know, he was like a supporter at the time. I remember TC gave me my first $1,000 to say like, yo, go press all these, you know, up and go ahead and distribute them. You know what I mean? Like that's when I was.
That I can't stop. It's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip. Now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it. I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh my nigga, I'm not the lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. Face off, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it.
Hey, but that was always the hustle. Like nobody really understood that that's what they should have been doing is like do something with the equipment. You know, Chief always took it and did something.
We're doing something now.
Man, I love it. This looks good, man.
You rolling? All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street.
Yeah,
Special
man.
guest in the building. So y'all probably know him as, I mean, I just learned your name today.
Yeah.
I've known you as a Youth Lens 360 forever.
All right.
but it's Dario Otero. You're the founder and the CEO of Youth Lens 360.
Yes, sir.
It's a name. That's a brand that people have been seeing for quite some time, specifically here in Minnesota. I don't know what your reach is outside of Minnesota, but I've been seeing it for a long time. So
yeah, man, we we do some work outside of Minnesota, more national. You know, people got the money, but for the most part, most of the stuff we do is here in Twin Cities. Yeah.
So I mean, I shouldn't say I know, but I'm pretty sure like music videos is kind of where it started for you.
Yeah, man.
But you've expanded into.
Yeah, I started like in the studio.
Yeah.
Everybody, 19, 20, we didn't know what to do. I wasn't a rapper. And so they were like, well, you got to use the camera.
Somebody got to hold the camera.
Somebody got to hold the camera.
Yeah.
So started out simple, just trying to learn. We didn't have YouTube University back then. So, I think the first video I did, I didn't have any sound. So it was we went back and watched the footage and there was no sound. And I was like, all right, I got to find somebody that knows what they're doing.
Was it at all a thought or a passion of yours? Like
to do what I'm doing now?
Yeah, like was it just happenstance and then you fell in love with it as time went on?
Look, we were just trying to, shoot our own videos and make music, and then eventually, the crew split, and then me and another partner went off and we started doing club like promotional DVDs. That's how long it goes back, right?
Yeah.
Where we were like, we'll go to the club, we'll film.
That was an era.
People acting crazy. Yeah, yeah.
That was an era.
Yeah, we were up there with at one point with Cheddar DVD, Smack DVD, and then we had shipped our stuff over to World Star, which was a store in New York at the time. Wow. And so our thing was called the Connect DVD. And we were comedy, right? We'll come out to the club, watch everybody that was drunk in the parking lots, film them, acting crazy, get all the cars, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple fights, and then we'll take those DVDs, ship them over to New York, and they'll put them on consignment at the World Star store.
Wow.
And that was like 6-7 years before it was like World Star Online.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That's crazy. What's the craziest thing y'all ever caught in the parking lot?
Oh, man. So it's I caught some stuff one time that I had to accidentally get rid of the, tape because, the feds actually came and said, hey, we need your tape. And I was like, no, that tape was destroyed. I don't know, it fell in some water or something. Like, yeah, I caught a shootout that, somebody wanted, the whole thing. A police officer shot somebody. Oh, wow. Somebody shot somebody else, and it was just crazy. And at the time, I was so young, I didn't know what to do, so I just destroyed the tape because I was like, I didn't want nothing to do with it, you know. So, just being young and didn't know what I was doing at the time, and, just having the camera everywhere and not really realizing this isn't the time when, you film something and went straight to the internet.
Yeah.
Like you film something 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, where's that tape? The stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, just young and not knowing what to do.
Did that land you in any hot water? Like, did they try to press you a little harder over it? Or?
Yeah, look, man, some things back then, like, it was like unwritten laws, right? Like, you come out, I'm talking about I had a camera like this, a belt so that we could run the lights. Yep. And I remember shooting one music video where, like, the dude was, like, putting real stuff into the video. And then, like, the FBI came later and was like, we need to confiscate that tape. Same thing. I was like, I don't have the tape, But this is me being young, not knowing what I was doing at 19, 20, 21, filming stuff, filming content. and it's on a tape. Luckily, I wasn't dumb and just loaded it up online like all the young people do today, where they just throw it up on the,
Yeah, don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it.
Viral.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like back then it was different.
Damn, that's crazy. Like, so you were really a part of that that was the beef era. That was that's where Vlad got started. That's where DJ Vlad got his start.
Everybody got their start. I feel, don't quote me on this, but I think at the time Frenchie Montana.
Yeah, French Montana too.
He was a host of a DVD at the time.
For sure he was.
Yeah, and I remember being like, we were watching those DVDs. I remember Pimpin' Ken. You guys familiar with Pimpin' Ken?
Yep.
Pimpin' Ken tried to buy our DVD, and I didn't realize what was going on. I was talking to him in the parking lot somewhere in Milwaukee, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm going to repackage your stuff and put Pimpin' Ken on it, and then, we'll just split the profits. And I was like, nah. If I would have thought about it now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
so
I would have did it.
You kind of regret it, because he had a...
Oh, man, I would regret that one, because he would have took what we were doing, and then he would have pushed it out all over the nation, and 50% of something, when we were just, trying to like do consignment at the store for $10, like it would have been a different story. But everything happens for a reason. That probably wasn't the lifestyle I wanted to go down, shooting Pimpin' Ken's DVDs,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You probably wouldn't be doing what you're doing now. Who definitely knows though? You might, you never know. But
who knows, man? Yeah.
So, did you get any, was there any level of success out of that, or did it not really get to where you?
No, it was some success. Yeah. Like, we were doing something that nobody was doing. Like, we were taking the DVDs instead of trying to sell them to you, we would give them to you. And then what we did was we found a route where we say, like, can we press all this stuff up? And then we'll go to the stores, the mom and pop stores, the record stores, the World Stars, put them on consignment, or have them, the people that were marketing on our DVD pay for the marketing $500, $600, $700, $800, right, to be on our DVD. And then we get to give you the DVD for free. So it was just going all over the place, because people were just like, man, I need the new DVD, because we were doing comedy too. It wasn't like we were just like so hard like Smack DVD where we wanted to fights and stuff. We were like catch you outside, get you to do a freestyle or ask you a stupid question.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is we embarrass you, but like people would come back like, yo, I know y'all embarrassed me, but man, all the girls see me on the DVD, man. Like, I want to get back on there.
So y'all were really doing the internet shit before the internet shit.
And we were.
Because that's all it is now.
Listen, man, back then you would try to put a video up on, I think MySpace was, right?
Yep.
And it was too big, and it would do the little spin thing forever, and then it would say it wouldn't load. And then everything switched over to YouTube, and they started being able to compress the files, right? And like we just missed it, where it was like we should have been loading everything up on YouTube, and then maybe could have been the first World Star online at the time. But like I said, everything happens for a reason. We just didn't catch it quick enough. So
and you could still have pride in the fact that you were right there.
Yeah, man,
you were right there for it. You can say so. You can say that at least. So at what point did you start to transition into music videos and things like that, or were you also doing music videos at the time?
No, so went from record label, shooting behind the scenes, doing music videos, to club DVD and promotion DVD stuff, and then back to music videos, to where we got the opportunity to there was this crew called Stack of Cheese Records in Milwaukee that hired us to do a video.
Okay.
And they paid for OJ the Juice Man, from Atlanta, hey, okay.
Of course.
Yeah, he came down, he did a song, and like we shot that video and edited it all in one day and gave it back to him. And Juice was like, hey, didn't y'all just shoot this yesterday? And he was still in town at the time doing features on other people's music, and then flew us down to Atlanta like 2 weeks later to start shooting. And we were in the studio with different people, like, all different type of people, Gorilla Zoe, Gunplay. Yeah.
Gucci?
Yeah, Gucci. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's
so he liked the turnaround, and he was like, eh.
Well, what was interesting is at the time, OJ was doing music like, there was this dude named Caveman. He's still out here somewhere. I don't know what he goes by now.
Caveman is.
You know Caveman?
Yeah, I remember Caveman.
Yeah, Caveman was being able to take all of their music and turn it into ringtones and put it up on like Apple Music, and like nobody knew how to do that.
Caveman was.
He was
a
dude, DJ.
Didn't he? Wasn't he the one that partnered with Soulja Boy? That like.
I have no idea what he did after that. I just know that he was one of the dudes that was smart enough to know that there was something else coming.
Yeah.
And as a DJ, he was DJing for all them. He was DJing for Gucci, for Waka, for everybody.
Yeah.
But what he would do was take all the music and he'll show them how to turn it into those ringtones and put it online and on Apple Music, and like nobody else knew how to do that, and that's how he got on like that.
Yeah.
And so Caveman, we'll call Caveman, and he'll be like, come shoot this, come shoot that. So he was a good link for me back then.
Wow. So what is your connection to Studio 4? One of our great sponsor, by the way.
Studio 4. High School for Recording, not Studio 4, man. So I have a connection TC, the founder, you know, he's my uncle through marriage.
Okay.
So at the time when I was running around doing all this stuff, you know, he was like a supporter at the time. I remember TC gave me my first $1,000 to say like, yo, go press all these, you know, up and go ahead and distribute them. You know what I mean? Like that's when I was, man, I must have been like 23, 22 at the time when I did that.
Okay.
And so, you know, he was one of the first investors in that. And then watching what he was doing with the high school, when I got to a certain point when I was like, man, I gotta get out of here shooting music videos where people are pointing guns at me, you know, in the music video. I was like, T, man, I'd love to come up there and work for the school. And so at the time, my son was being born, and I made that decision to kind of like leave this other lifestyle alone and come work at the school.
Get a little consistency.
Yeah, a little bit more consistency, but just really just the lifestyle, right? Like I'm about to have a kid. I can't be like, you know, staying up to 4 a.m, editing, running around to Atlanta, going back to, you know, Detroit, going back to these other cities. And like, it was just a crazy lifestyle.
Yeah. So that was the having a kid.
Yeah. Having a kid
really what changed.
Man, having a kid changes everything for me. You know, I mean,
because it's not about you anymore.
It's not about me anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. And I had a homeboy at the time that told me that he was at the time he was, you know, involved in some different activities, and he was like, listen, you're about to have a son, like you gotta change everything, man. And so he gave me that piece of advice, and I moved up here to Minnesota not knowing anybody. Moved my son, was 2 weeks old at the time, and TC was like, yo, you gotta be at staff training tomorrow. I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? So I come to staff training, and I'll never forget, I pulled up, I parked my car in the front. I had a Lexus GS 430 sitting on like some $10,000 rims, man, like $70,000 car. And TC walked into the staff meeting. He was like, man, who the hell's car is in the front? And I was like, that's mine. I'm thinking he thought it was cool. He was like, man, park that car in the back. This is a school. That's how he said it, right? And so I was like, are you for real? He said, yeah, man, you can't have that car out front, man. This is a school, man. And so I had to park the car. I had to park the car in the back every day I came, and I was like, man. So yeah, man, that
sounds exactly like
man. That's exactly what he said. He's like, man, this is a school, man. You can't have that car out front, man. Ain't no teacher supposed to have a car like that. So yeah, T was tripping.
God damn it, that's great. Oh my God, that's hilarious, man. Shout out to TC, man.
Man, shout out to
a legend TC. A legend that probably doesn't get the proper flowers he should here.
Nah, definitely doesn't, man.
I don't think he seeks them out though. So
nah, man. You know, TC's he's involved in so much stuff that, you know, he's just behind the scenes with that you wouldn't know. Yeah. And you know, he's a hard player too though, because you know what I'm saying, he's still TC, so you got to deal with the front side TC, who he is as a person, but
for sure
behind the scenes, man, he's all love, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, I wonder the amount of lives that he's probably saved.
I don't think you can count them.
Yeah.
Because you got to think there's generations now, right? We're on like third, fourth generation. So
Yeah.
he's saving lives back in the, you know, 90s.
Yep.
And those kids now are grandparents. So
that's crazy.
You got to look at the trajectory of like kids that have been, you know what I'm saying, saved by the fact that their parent was able to get a high school diploma and maybe even more. So
yeah, and his reach is growing.
It's crazy, man.
The reach is just growing and growing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, we couldn't have a better sponsor over here. That's for sure.
That's what's up. I didn't realize he was sponsoring the whole thing, but it makes sense.
Yeah. You see that on the sign out there, Studio 4?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What am I doing? I didn't even see that, man.
Yeah, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so, and now you're doing. I mean, now you're doing like more. What, community based work? More is it corporate work?
Yeah, so Youth Lens 360 is a video production company.
Yeah.
We do storytelling for corporates, philanthropics, nonprofits. So we're doing all that high level, you know, storytelling. But honestly, the secret sauce is that the young people that I work with are similar to the ones that are coming out of Studio 4 High School for Recording Arts, right? Yeah. Like they're the young people that are looking for that next step, and they don't know exactly what they want to do, but they bring a ton of creative energy and talent to the table.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're able to say like, oh, okay, why don't we shoot it like this? Why don't we pick this music track? Why don't we edit it like this? And so when we go to the corporate client, we're able to say like, your video is going to have a lot of high energy. It's going to attract more people, because we're not your boring video company, right? We're coming to the table with something new.
For sure.
And so the corporates love it. They're like, oh, we love this. It sounds so much better than the last video we did. So we're able to give you a better product that way.
That's really dope. Yeah, I noticed you have, you got connections to like Louis Blaze.
Oh yeah,
I think Juice Lord.
Lord, yeah. Man, this music scene here, man, is so undervalued. I love them all, though, man. I you know, the cats, I got to see them come up from, young, put a camera in their hand or brought him on a trip. Me and Louis Blaze, when he was 16, we went down to San Diego, and I remember like 3 days before, I'm like, Louis, you should come down to San Diego and give a speech at this conference. He ends up giving a keynote address to it was 1,000. It's about 1,000 teachers, all high level from around the country, around the world actually, some from the islands, some from overseas. And I mean, he killed it. You know what I mean?
He's a special guy, man.
Man, he's a special dude, man.
Like that's the thing about that I don't know people understand about Louis Blaze is like, yeah, he's a good musician, he's a good rapper and like and all that, but like I feel like his impact is gonna come from somewhere else.
It definitely is, man. When I think of people like, I can't compare, it's the greats like Tupac and them, right? They always had something beyond just being an artist, and so I look at Louis like that. Like, you would mentally not think Louis is the age he is. You would think he's a lot older because he's on a bunch of other stuff, but he's still a young cat trying to figure it out too,
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right about we are an undervalued we do have an undervalued music scene here, but I do feel like there should be more. I would like to see more people like Louis.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound real bad.
Nah, you say it, man.
Making it as a musical artist.
Yeah.
It's damn near impossible.
Right.
You have to be an anomaly. I say this all the time. Like, chances are not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But there are things that you can do within that realm, which are things that I see like Louis doing. Like you said, like being a speaker. Like, he's a very powerful speaker and like has a big voice. Like, I would like to see some people start to take the other things more serious because the music probably ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Man,
it's not even that the music is what you call it. It's like just the way in, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, if you really look at all the music artists now, where are they making their money? Marketing.
Yep.
Concerts,
touring, merch,
right?
Yep.
So if you can, like, it's cool to be a music artist and sell your music, but there's so much other stuff. Acting, right? Like,
for sure.
I'm seeing all these rap actors, and I'm like, this is where it's at, right? So why do we still think you should take the traditional route of having to get a record deal? Like, go for artists. Yeah, be a marketer, be a Louis Blaze, go speak at to the he's over here speaking at governors meetings and different stuff. Go do that and still be who you are.
Yeah, I wouldn't even recommend. I wasn't even saying like don't still do music. I just mean don't depend on the music. It's probably not going to get you where you want to go. Like,
small piece of what you're trying to do.
But I know what you're saying. I can't think of the word either. But it's like it's like a way. It's like a way in.
It's a pipeline.
Yeah, it's like a foot in the door. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pipeline.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. And on another note, like you said, like you see all these artists getting into acting now. Like, look at all the. I mean, let's say specifically rappers.
Yeah.
Stop rapping and just start. Look at Ludacris.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue Ludacris is one of the. I mean, he's a top what? He's in the top 50.
Oh,
ever
acting or rapping? Rapping. Oh yeah.
He's in the top 50
for sure. I just heard some Luda stuff yesterday. I was like, damn, I forget.
He could still rap.
Oh, for sure.
But he hasn't dropped an album in 10 years because he's been doing these Fast and Furious movies, making $10 million a picture. Like,
what's that concert they got here in Minnesota that everybody goes to? The Rhyme Saying store.
Was Soundset.
Soundset, yeah. So I was at Soundset and I was behind the stage, and this guy that big wig dude, his daughter was there, and she ran up to him and said, "Dad, Ice Cube, he's on stage rapping." And he was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I didn't know he rapped."
Oh,
because she was thinking like, I only knew Ice Cube for being, an actor.
Yeah.
And so like to see the next generation coming up, they don't even know this dude as a rapper.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? That tells you like Luda, like how many people know he actually rap? If you're young, if you're 16 right now, 17, you just know him from the Fast and the Furious.
I bet my kids don't know.
Yeah, they don't know he rap.
That's crazy to think. And what's funny is I played Ludacris around them. Mm-hmm. But if I told them like, "Hey, this is the guy from that," they'd be like, "What?"
They wouldn't believe.
They'd have no idea.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, no. And somebody brought up a great point. I forget who it was. I think I saw a post earlier today about imagine if Pac hadn't died, and he ended up taking 70% of the roles that Will Smith got.
He was only what, 25?
25.
And he was coming up on the acting scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a valid point.
It's like, a whole different person.
It's a valid point. Like he would have definitely stole roles.
I think Pac would have been a politician. Just like I think Nipsey would have ended up being a politician.
Maybe.
And it's crazy to say, but I think they were on a track to like really do some change.
I think Pac was going to be a film star.
I think he
was a film star, but I think he was. I was the trajectory that I saw for Pac was music was going to be an afterthought for him, and he was going straight into Hollywood. Because music is what got him into all the shit that he was in. You know what I mean?
Listen, Same with TC. We talked about TC earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, who knew? Like, go look up the was it Miss Thang?
Yep.
TC Ellis Miss Thang. Go watch that video. You would never be telling me you run a school. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure.
Yeah, schools. I mean,
schools.
I mean,
around the nation.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, music is probably. I still can't think of that word. I really want to think of the word, but I can't
just call it a pipeline.
Yeah,
man.
pipeline. You're right.
I honestly, with my company, you know, we're doing video production, we're doing corporate work, but it's the same exact thing. I'm finding young cats that shoot music videos in the streets. I'm finding young cats that are doing, like, trying to create their own feature film, podcast, whatever it is, and we come together. You know, I say, look, here's a corporate contract where you're going to get paid a lot more, so that you could continue to do what you love, right? Which is like continue to grow in the music video game or whatever else you want to do. But
because the idea has always been, you know, use your day job to to fuel your dream job. Well, what if you can
do what you love?
Do both. I mean, you know what I mean? What if your day job can be also your dream job to fuel something in the same field?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If shooting a podcast is going to pay your bills and allow you to continue to shoot music videos, which is your passion, then shit,
man, listen, this hip hop thing, honestly, it's the only art form that sells, right? Like, if you look at what's going on in the industry, we sell stuff. We sell products, clothing, liquor, whatever. And so you're a marketer. If you truly believe that, you are a marketer when you're doing music in the hip hop industry, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you just flip that into marketing? Look at all the commercials you watch. They're all hip hop.
For sure. It makes the world go round.
It does.
Hip hop is everything.
100%.
I mean, I've said it many times. I mean, I think just black culture in general is what makes the earth turn. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally, it's everything. And I think I said it to somebody on another episode. I might get killed for it, but I was like, I think in some way,
not
like
killed.
even like not literally killed. I just mean like on the internet killed. But I think in some way, like, I think black culture even influences like the most racist people on the planet, and they don't even know it.
Dude, I was growing up in Detroit. There was a gang off of 8 Mile Shiawassee in the suburbs that was a bunch of racist white dudes that were gangster disciples. And I was like, well, how are y'all GD if y'all white and racist at the same time? Like, so, you know what I mean? It just, man, it used to blow my mind because I'd be like, how y'all racist, but y'all in the black gang, but y'all all white? Like, it just influences, you know what I'm saying, everything.
Yeah, it really does. And I think it's to the point now where it's so powerful that we don't even, it's not even a thought. I mean, you know, like my kids go to school in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And when school lets out, when those doors open, it's just hip hop. Like, everything is Jordans and designer, and you know what I mean.
Go to a basketball game out in Rosemount, Minnesota. And the warm up music gonna be all hip hop.
100%.
And watch all them parents look like this while their kids are warming up for the basketball game.
Yeah, and all these little white kids' favorite artists is NBA YoungBoy, and like, I mean. And it's only getting more powerful.
Oh, it's only getting more powerful, man. I just got done watching the Wu-Tang series, right?
Yeah.
Watching them, like, marketed clothes overseas and just, man, we just got to believe it, right? Because what happens is a lot of times the culture gets robbed. If you read Steve Stout, The Tanning of America.
I have not read it, but it's on my list.
Steve Stout, The Tanning of America, #1 book you should read, especially if you're young and trying to do some hip-hop.
Okay.
You can watch the podcast. You can go online, watch the YouTube interviews. He talks about it, right? Adidas, Sprite, any brand, Nike, they all went and took the culture and then turned it into a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Talks about Tommy Hilfiger, like, sitting and watching kids on the corner in New York with their underwear hanging down and then going back and designing the underwear with the label on the brim because he knew that kids would wear the Tommy Hilfiger thing. Yep. I mean, and what? Now he blows up and, you know, I mean, Tommy's, you know, this is all
still prominent.
Yeah, all developed by the culture, man.
Yeah.
But we don't usually cash in on it. We usually wait, right? We only take this one traditional path of music or basketball and then like don't see that, we're actually a whole talent in marketing and we can do things, tell stories. And that's really what is the basis for my company, man. It's like there was this lyric on Andre 3000 said it on 116 Ain't Enough. He did a song with Rick Ross.
Yep.
And he said, telling young men that selling is a sin is a sin without telling them new ways to win, right? So he was basically saying, like, we keep telling everybody, don't sell drugs, don't do this, don't do that. That's what they're dealing with. But, like, until we offer them something different, until we give them, and that's really was the basis for my company. It was like offering you access to technology, access to high end, you know, being in rooms with people like CEOs and seeing that you could be a light and you could tell a story, you could work for this company, and then watching this company take your product that you designed and got paid for and put it out on a big scale.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's probably a place for us to work together.
Oh man, it's long overdue.
Yeah, we gotta find something because I think I was going through some of your stuff on your YouTube and I mean it's pretty great stuff. I don't know how you feel, but it doesn't feel like it's getting the proper light shed on it.
Ah man, I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I don't, because I know that when the time is right, it'll be right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're doing two different things, so we confuse people sometimes because we look like a nonprofit on one side. Mm-hmm. And then we look like a for-profit on the other side. And that's fine, because usually in Minnesota, especially, I call it the land of 10,000 nonprofits, right?
Okay.
Like they tell you the only way that you could do stuff is to be a nonprofit.
I call it the land of 10,000 rappers. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, there's all these people getting a lot of grant money and a lot of money to be able to go say, hey, we're helping young people, right? Like, but we're a for-profit company. We just know that we're supposed to do what we're doing. So like, yeah, we'll deliver your product, service, corporate, philanthropic, for the county, for the state, whatever. But we're also reinvesting back into our community and helping young people come up. And so that's the part that we're just doing because we know it's our responsibility, and more people need to think like that. You guys are thinking like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're a for-profit company and you're being able to put people on and help people get to a place they couldn't be. Yeah. Like, we just need more of those for-profit companies in our community.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think that there's a I think what you're talking about is something that I've been talking about for a long time, specifically on this platform, is like the understanding of business, of for-profit companies. And like, there's a lot of disdain for, why I got to pay for this, why I got to pay for that. Like, I thought y'all were doing it for the culture. And it's like, two things can be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, two things can be true. We could be doing it for the culture and still want to feed our families.
Man, I heard somebody hating on Chief. I ain't gonna lie. I was out. Yeah, man. They
Never.
were like, Lake Live on Lake Street, blah, 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 talking about all that. I had the idea first, and I'm like, yeah, but did you execute though?
Who had the idea first? Man,
you know how these cats. But I was like, but did you execute though? Did you actually do it? Nah, man. Because all excuses, and I'm like, yeah, everybody can have an idea. Well, how many people told me they had my idea?
I don't know who it was, and they can say what they want about Chief, but what I will say, and I don't usually do this. Yeah, I am the podfather in Minnesota. Yeah, I am the first person to have a podcast in Minnesota.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Period.
Right, that's actually doing something too.
Nobody. And hold on, let me say, Mujah Messiah had a podcast, but he did like once every 2 months or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, y'all consistent, man. But yeah, you're executing. I love it.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't really like popping my shit like that, but sometimes it's like, man.
Hey, man, you gotta be confident. You gotta be Kobe.
Yeah, like I have been doing this for the culture. Yeah. For free. For negative money in my bank account. For it all. I've been here through it all. And
let's talk about that.
And I tried to quit.
Yeah.
And Chief pulled me back in.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk about that negative in your bank account though. That's people don't realize, man.
No, they don't. And that's and I don't expect them to, because most people don't understand. I mean, that's the thing, is like, understanding business or not. Yeah. Almost nobody, seemingly specifically here in Minnesota, understands the business of a show or a podcast or a production like this.
It's all a business.
This shit costs money.
Ton of money. Yeah.
Money. Like, I've been doing this for almost 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm down a lot.
I walked in here. I was like, I counted 100. I counted 150K walking in, just looking around.
Easy. Yeah. See, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. No, I see it. Yeah. I see it all around, man. Yeah. And that's just getting the equipment, not setting it up, not the time spent learning it, not the time spent on so much stuff, man. I mean, you guys are, man. This is amazing, honestly.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Minnesota owes you guys, for real.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but I do appreciate that, and it does mean a lot coming from you as well, because someone that's established like you, and you understand what's happening here.
Definitely.
Most people don't, and we can't expect them to. Right. I can't expect somebody that has no clue how an operation like this is run to understand it. Like,
nah, man.
And if you want to understand it, let me know. I'll let you know.
And that's the thing, man. You are willing to give back.
100%.
You're willing to teach people, but people sometimes they just want to hate and watch from a bird's eye view. And like, man, if we would do more like, hey, what if I just talk to my mans and like he told me the game? Like, I bet you would help other people start their podcast.
Easy.
That's the thing.
Might
man.
cost you, but I'll
help
you. I might need to get paid for it. But
right.
I'll help you for sure. Yeah. And I mean, if it's just advice, like, I'll give advice all day long. Like, you could reach out to me all day.
Exactly.
Free of charge. I'll give you all the advice. My biggest piece of advice, and you probably know this too, is consistency.
Man, that's it.
Don't stop.
Hey, man, look, I knew I had to grow, and I had to find people around me that were more consistent than me, because I could only do so much. So my man, shout out, he's in here, Norman Westbury III. Yeah. He was my person I brought in. I was like, look, I need to be more consistent, right? Like we can land a job here and there, but like, can we continue to grow? And so I see you got a team here, man. You guys are growing. And so same thing, man. You start to learn that in the business. Like, I can't do everything. I need to be consistent, and I got to have people around me that execute that I trust.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And we got that here. We definitely got that here, and we're going to continue to grow it. So just real quick, tell me what's in the future for Youth Lens 360?
Yeah, man. We just landed a couple of really amazing contracts that are going to pay us for the next 3 years, right? Like, that's the difference, right? We were running around probably the last 2 years ago, just hoping to get that contract every week, every 2 weeks or whatever. And now we're landing more bigger, robust contracts that are allowing us to be able to know what we have for our revenue stream for 3 years, right? Like, that's a different play in business because I can project what I'm doing. The real future holds is I know we're going to get an Adidas, a Nikes, a Gatorade. Somebody's going to come to us one day and say, listen, you guys are doing the culture at a different level, and we're willing to work with you and pay you to help design our next program for Adidas for the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know that's coming down the line, and we're working real hard to be able to do what we're doing here in the region, but that national big contract is coming.
You don't care that they don't respect Kanye or Beyonce, seemingly?
I mean, look, man, how many times does that flip, right?
Yeah.
That'll go on for a little while, and then they'll come back and stuff. It's like, I truly believe this. A young old head cat actually told me one day I was feeling guilty about doing a project because I felt like the people that were giving us the money didn't really, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of like pity money. Yeah. It's coming out of the George Floyd situation. And the dude was like, take that money. You got to bring that money into our community so you can distribute it into our community, right? And I felt guilty about it because I was like, man, they just posing because after the George Floyd thing, they just want to show that they hired a black-owned company, right? And I was like, you know what, you're right. We're going to take that money. I'm going to bring it right back to the community. That's the only way we're going to bring money into our community. So, like, hey, if Adidas comes talking about they don't respect Kanye, I'm still going to bring that bread over to our community, and we're going to do what we got to do with it.
Yeah, so, for sure. No, I agree with you. Sometimes you got to put that pride aside and say, you know what, all money is green.
Look,
if it's green, man, and I can spend it, man, I'll take it.
Can I save lives with it? Can I grow companies with it?
For sure.
Can we shut down Adidas one day with it? Yeah. Maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
That's real,
Okay, I got one more final question for you. And I'm going to do this with everybody today because we're filming on the day that Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, big fight.
Big fight.
Are you a fight fan?
Fight. Love it. And I got a dilemma because my son plays basketball in the tournament at the same time tonight. And I'm like,
really?
I don't want him to lose, but I want him to hurry up.
That fight ain't going to happen until midnight.
I know, right? Like they end their game at like 10 something.
But that's trash, though, if you got to spend the money to get the pay-per-view and you only get to watch their fight.
And that part. Yeah, I know.
That is a dilemma.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So I want to give you the opportunity to predict the fight exactly. So that way, if it happens the way you said it, we can put this clip out and be like, look, he called it. What's happening? What round? Is it a knockout? We going the distance?
Man, you're going to hate this, but it's going to go all 10 rounds, and it's going to be a tie. I'm just going to be the only one that says that today.
Man, you know what's funny? I was at the barbershop yesterday.
Yeah.
Somebody else said the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's going all 10, and it's a draw.
It's a draw.
And then they're going to fight again, and then they're going to fight again in June. And I'm like, June seems quick turnaround, but.
Listen, all 10 in a draw. I believe that. Yep.
Man.
You heard it here first.
All 10, and it ends in a draw.
Yep.
It better not.
Yeah.
I don't want no draw. It can go 10. I don't want to draw. Actually, I want.
It's going to be a good fight regardless.
It is going to be a good fight.
Some of the best fights, man, they go that long.
Somebody's always got to go.
Yeah. Some of the worst fights is the first round knockouts. Now you're really mad.
I mean, I'll take a first round knockout.
Yeah.
I need some of the undercard to be a good fight, though, then.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, if you get a bunch of shit fights on the undercard and then it's a first round knockout, it's like.
Man, some of them damn fights, I'd be like, how many more fights before we get to see the match? Like, it'd be like 8 fights.
That's why I like UFC, though. Because I feel like UFC, you don't really ever get a bad fight.
They get to it. No,
it don't have to be somebody you even know. It's like,
I know. I heard that.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. This was a great conversation. I'm glad we could do it. Let's find a way to partner up, do some business.
Love it, man. I would love it.
And before we go, tell them where to find everything that you need them to find.
Yeah, man. If you can find us at YouthLens360 IG, YouthLens360. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Get on LinkedIn. Like, man, most of my business that I get, most of the contracts, man, people know me from LinkedIn. So YouthLens360 on LinkedIn. I know y'all ain't on there. Facebook, YouthLens360. Well, I think we got a TikTok.
I'm on there. I forgot my password, though.
Right. On LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Man, better get back on there.
I'm on
Live
there.
on Lake Street, you need to be on LinkedIn, man.
No, you're right.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, LinkedIn is, look, I'm going to drop the last dime. LinkedIn right now is looking for us because we are the culture, right?
Yeah.
And business is looking for us. And so LinkedIn, if you get on there as a young person in urban community, hip hop, whatever you want to call it, man, wide open right now.
Live on Lake Street is on LinkedIn by the end of the day.
There you go, man.
We'll be there.
Get on LinkedIn, man. I guarantee a contract.
So if you're watching this, go link with us on LinkedIn.
Man, hit LinkedIn.
Man, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, man.
And the great conversation.
Appreciate you, brother.
And yeah, good luck to you out there, man. Keep killing shit.
Thanks, man.
All right, man. That's it. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1.
Thanks. Who, me? I love this. I've been wanting to do it.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up, I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it, I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh my nigga, I'm not the lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it. Same nigga that was trapping while I was suspended. You wasn't in them hallways banging, boy, you wasn't in it. Really a genuine nigga, homie, don't get offended. From East Lake, South Murder, I'm just saying that I can't stop. It's that I won't stop. It ain't that I can't stop. It's that I won't say. It ain't that I can't stop. It's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Southside Chief, homie. Now what you know, look, I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me?